I have to usurp your comments with the Minister of Public Safety, who's just joined us live here in studio. Hi, Minister McGuinty. Good to see you.
How are you?
Thank you very much for making the time. I know your time is limited because you have to get to Cabinet, so I have a few specific questions for you. Yesterday in that seat, the Minister of Finance, Dominic LeBlanc, when I asked him at the start of our interview whether or not there was any chance of getting out of these tariffs by Tuesday, said he was very pessimistic about the possibility of that. What changed?
We've been working on this for months, if not weeks and months, to be honest with you, Vassy. We have sowed the seeds in terms of a lot of the elements that have been announced today. Some of these came to fruition a little later on than we thought. All last week, we were in and out of Washington, meeting with White House officials, meeting with administration officials. And I think that we kept positive. We kept moving forward because we're really worried. And we have been very worried about 41 million people. I got a call from my constituency office today, and I had 2 or 3 company owners calling up in tears saying, am I letting people go, or what am I doing? Or somebody calling from Vancouver saying, am I moving the company to Texas? So, look, we've just stayed at this. We've always believed, I certainly always believed we could find our way forward, and it looks like we have, but we have work to do.
And I have questions about what the next 30 days looks like and sort of the environment around that. But as far as, like, I was, parsing through what the Prime Minister posted here, yeah. It's an extra, $200 million, but on top of a plan that you've been presenting over a number of weeks. You've been talking about, as you mentioned, in Washington for a number of weeks. Fentanyl czar, maybe that's a new name and a new title and a new position, but it doesn't look like you had to concede a ton to arrive at this conclusion. Is that a fair assessment?
I think what we had to do was to demonstrate to the President that we took his concerns seriously. He's made a number of promises to his own population that he's trying to keep. In the area of the fentanyl czar, this was really an important coordinating role to be played because there are many departments, many elements involved in fentanyl. Local police forces, provincial police forces, Foreign Department, Public Safety, Health Canada, new laboratories were standing up for tracing and tracking fentanyl. Relations with China, whence most of these precursors are coming from. So, no, we tied it together and said we could be more efficient and more coordinated. So that's what we've done in the fentanyl case.
Does that mean, though, that you believe that the imposition or the threat of the imposition of these tariffs was really about the border? Because I think Canadians are confused, right? A number of hours ago, Donald Trump was talking at length about making Canada the 51st state. Last night, he was talking about what he viewed as an unfair trading relationship and that Canada treats the U.S. badly when it comes to trade. Do you ultimately think this is about the border, or is it about a lot more? Is it about rather a lot more?
I think it's likely about more than just the border, and that's fine. We're doing what we have to do, we believe, to strengthen that border. It was already quite strong. On the 51st state question, which keeps surfacing, I think we should take that seriously, but at the same time, not take it that seriously.
What does that mean? Because I feel like the way that he has been talking about it is raising a lot of alarm bells for Canadians. It feels like that's his ultimate goal.
We're aware, and Canadians are aware, and I think what we're seeing from Canada is a very strong Team Canada reaction. People knowing that we've got to stick together. I mean, I just want to take a second, if I could, Vassy, and commend the incredible work by provinces and cities and parliamentarians from all parties who are coming together to help do this. Business leaders who have been phenomenal in the United States. Canadians reaching out to their families in the United States, their clients. So I think this is prevailing now. It's breaking through in America, in the United States itself. We just got to stay vigilant, stay disciplined, keep focused, and keep moving forward.
He says in the bottom of his statement that this has been paused for a 30-day period. The Prime Minister says at least 30 days. Is it a month-long reprieve? Like, is there a finite point on it?
I can't answer that. I do know that for the next 30 days, I'm going to be pretty busy with a very strong team of folks and officials across the system in the country. I think what we need to do is stay focused here, which is to deliver on these next new 5 steps that build on the plan. Many of these steps have been negotiated for some time. The notion, forgive me, of a joint North American fentanyl strike force is one that was raised just last Friday, for example, after several meetings. So we're going to operationalize these things now. And, a lot of this requires actually partnership with our American counterparts, because the fentanyl crisis, for example, is not a Canadian crisis alone. It's as much an American one. So we now know, and I think the President recognizes, we've got to do this together.
Do you believe this is about our sovereignty, though?
I believe this is about being nimble and being smart and remaining focused on Canada's future. I'm often reminded of something my mother used to say, Vassy, which is, you can't be angry and smart at the same time. So we can't be angry so as much as we have to be nimble and react the right way and keep our sovereignty, of course, but also show progress, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Do you believe that there exists the possibility, or how much of a possibility is there that we avoid overall the imposition of these tariffs, or are they likely to hang over our heads for the next 4 years?
I don't necessarily believe that at this stage. I think what we need to do, because I remain hopeful, because I think we can manage our way through this relationship. We've always done it with our American neighbors. It's been going on for 150 years. We need to keep that border the longest undefended border in the world for a reason. 400,000 people a day go back and forth, billions of dollars of trade. We're going to have to be diligent. We're going to have to stick together as a country, and we're going to have to execute on a number of these new measures to be able to show to the president that we're serious. And we're going to be cooperating with so many of our American counterparts. So I think this is something that we can overcome.
I guess I wonder if Canadians, though, might be listening, and final question, because I know you do have to go, and feeling like that's a lot of optimism for the roller coaster ride we were just on for the last 48 hours. And though you present a series of facts and realities, those were all presented to the president prior to him signing that executive order on Saturday, and he simply didn't care. It didn't resonate.
I don't know whether the president saw all the facts and figures before he took the measures or announced the measures he did.
Well, isn't that scary?
Well, maybe, maybe not, but we managed to prevail, and I think our efforts in Washington broke through, and I think that our incredible team at our embassy and our folks on the front lines at the CBSA and the RCMP, working with their operational partners, we managed to transmit a message, which is we're much stronger together, and we have to make a choice. Are we going to win-win or lose-lose? And I think most people now understand that it's much better to win-win, and that's what we're going to build on.
I'm going to leave it there. Minister, I appreciate your time this evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vassy. Thank you.